which will hopefully work this time.
So Alyssa, are you saying that we are all set?
I'm just making sure the stream loads through.
Okay, great, thank you.
Mhm. Okay, Senator, you can begin whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Welcome back to the Joint Standing Committee on Labor and Housing. We are in work session today, and I will open the work session on LD 494, an act to change the compensation structure of the Maine Labor Relations Board and the State Board of Arbitration and Conciliation, sponsored by Representative Mike Sylvester of Portland. And with us to present the bill analysis is Colleen McCarthy-Reed, in for Mr. Stephen Langland. Thank you for being here, Ms. McCarthy-Reed.
Sure. Would you like me to just share the bill analysis and go through it really quickly for you?
Thank you. Please do.
Sure. Okay. So I did have a chance to email this to everybody last evening, but hopefully everybody can see it here quickly. As Senator Hickman said, this is a bill that would change the compensation structure of the Maine Labor Relations Board and the State Board of Arbitration and Conciliation. The bill adjusts the compensation structure for members of these boards in two ways. For the State Board of Arbitration and Conciliation, the bill would change the per diem compensation for members of the board to provide that when meeting to deliberate or vote with respect to a matter before the board, members would continue to receive $150 a day per meeting for their services for the time actually employed in the discharge of their official duties. And for all other purposes, their per diem would increase from $150 per day to $300 a day for their services for the time actually employed in the discharge of their duties. And this would include the time spent writing decisions, for instance. The costs of arbitration are borne by the parties to the dispute. So the potential increase in the compensation for these board members, if the bill moves forward, would be paid by the parties to the dispute. So typically in an arbitration proceeding, there's the board would consider labor disputes. So there'd be the cost would be borne by either the party related to labor and by the party representing management in that proceeding. With regard to the Maine Labor Relations Board, the bill adds some language to the current law that would give discretion to the board's executive director to pay for the per diem compensation and related costs for attendance by Maine Labor Relations Board members at their meetings from the board's general fund appropriation, rather than requiring the parties to a case to share the costs, which is the practice under the current law. If the funds are not available, the costs would be charged to the parties, which is as happens now. I did provide for you just some links to the current law in the analysis that governs the State Board of Arbitration and Conciliation and the Maine Labor Relations Board. I would just say with regard to the Board of Arbitration, it's a tripartite panel with 3 members. 1 member represents labor interests, 1 member represents management interests, and 1 member represents the public. And the public member is the chair of the board. The Maine Labor Relations Board is similarly, has a similar structure. They have 3 members and 6 alternates that are appointed by the governor. Again, each of the members represents labor interests, management interests, and the public interest. And again, the chair of the Maine Labor Relations Board is the member that represents the public. You did not have any testimony on this bill in opposition or neither for nor against. Representative Bradstreet did ask for some information from the executive director of the Maine Labor Relations Board, Mr. Daly, who is in the meeting if the committee has any particular follow-up questions for him, but he provided some background information about the compensation that was paid to members of the State Board of Arbitration in fiscal year 2019. So that's here for you on the analysis. And then in terms of the fiscal impact statement, we don't yet have that information from the Office of Fiscal and Program Review. I'm happy to stop there. I could answer any questions. And as I mentioned, Mr. Daly is also here if you have any specific questions for him.
Thank you, Ms. McCarthy-Reed. Are there any questions for our analyst on this issue from the committee? Representative Gear.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Daly, thanks for being here. I actually just did want to ask if the numbers that you were presented from last year, if that's looking to be similar to what the cost will be this year.
Thank you for the question, Representative Gear. In terms of FY19 versus FY20, we've actually seen a greater number of decisions in FY20 as compared to FY19. And then in comparison to FY21 versus FY20, it's at about the same level. So FY19, and that was a year that I believe Representative Bradstreet requested for numbers. That was a relatively slow year, for lack of a better term, in terms of the volume of hearings, whereas FY20, things picked up quite a bit. So in terms of the ballpark, just like back of the envelope calculations, you could say that FY20 was probably double in comparison to FY19. It's still not like this massive, like, budget busting number in the grand scheme of the state budget. But it's a larger number than it was in FY19.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Daly. Are there any other questions? Either Mr. Daly or Ms. McCarthy-Reed from the committee? Seeing none. Does the committee want to discuss this bill any further? And if not, I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Mr. Bradstreet, Representative
Thank
Bradstreet.
you. I believe our group would like to caucus before we actually have a vote on it, or after the motion would be fine.
We can caucus now and come back with a motion.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Representative Drinkwater.
Yes, Senator Guerin needs the link sent to her. She's having a hard time finding it.
I've just resent it a couple minutes ago.
Thank you,
Thank
Elizabeth.
Thank you.
So we will let Senator Guerin sign on, and then we will go to breakout room, at least for the Republicans to have their caucus, as soon as that is able to happen.
And Mr. Chair, if the Democrats would just all come in caucus as well, I just had a couple of updates I wanted to give you real quick.
Sounds good.
And the independents, if they'd like to come.
So we get a link to a breakout room? How does this work? I remember. There it is. See you all soon.
Senator Guerin, the other Republicans are in the breakout room.
Okay,
Are
can
you
you,
able to join them? Yeah,
there's my invite. Thank you.
okay, perfect. Thanks.
Thank you for everyone's patience today. We're so close to the end of this very long day. I can already see I'm going to have a conversation with our colleagues that are not present yet back in this meeting about how they frame their questions, but I will do that very soon. And Representative Sylvester, I think you said to me once that you will get a notification when they're ready to return, or do they just come back when they're finished?
In this format, they just come back. So I have not received anything thus far.
Thank you.
I can inquire though.
Oh, here we go. It looks like we are back from our breakout caucus. We have in front of us LD, oh, I'm sorry, I lost my screen, 494, excuse me. And I was wondering if we could entertain a motion as a committee or if there's something else we need to discuss. Representative Cuddy.
I would make a motion of ought to pass.
Representative Cuddy has moved ought to pass on LD 494. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
It's been seconded by Representative Drinkwater. The motion is ought to pass. Is there any discussion on the motion? Alyssa, please call the roll.
Senator Hickman.
Yay.
Hickman, yay. Senator Guerin.
Yay.
Guerin, yay. Senator Miramont.
Yay.
Miramont, yay. Representative Sylvester.
Yay.
Sylvester, yay. Representative Bradstreet.
Yay.
Bradstreet, yay. Representative Cuddy.
Yay.
Cuddy, yay. Representative Drinkwater.
Yay.
Drinkwater, yay. Representative Gear.
Yay.
Gear, yay. Representative Morris.
Yay.
Morris, yay. Representative Pebworth is absent. Representative Prescott is absent. Representative Rader.
Yes.
Rader, yes. And Representative Warren.
Yes.
Warren, yes. Of those present, it is unanimous ought to pass.
12 votes in favor of the motion, no votes against the motion, 1 person absent. The motion prevails. I will close the work session on LD 494. Of course, if we have a fiscal note that will come later, we will reincorporate that into our motion as an amendment. But until then, that is our vote for today. Alyssa, do you have anything else for the committee?
No, I have nothing.
Seeing nothing. I thank you all for your patience today and your participation in quite a long day. Enjoy the rest of this extremely warm evening. It's already 65 degrees or something like that still here, and the days are longer. So with that, our work is finished for the day, and I'll see you all on Wednesday morning.